Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Copper Dragons here, and I'm going to be starting on KNACK 2. And I recently finished up KNACK 1 recently, and I just thought I might as well start up on the sequel. So let's start up the game. Wow, this game already looks really
This
good.
is my world. The only one I've ever known. Looks pretty good, right? That's because I helped save it once. Well, Knack and I saved it. Knack is my... Maybe I should start at the beginning.
KNACK looks so much
My name
better
is
in this
Lucas,
game.
and this is my home.
This game already
A
has so
beautiful
much better
place,
graphics.
covered in mysterious relics. Most think they're the remnants of a long-lost civilization. They're kind of important.
Like, I
Mostly because
personally
they
don't
power,
care too
like,
much for
everything.
graphics, but this is a huge
A
step
friend of
up from
mine,
the first
the
game.
doctor, spent his whole life studying them, learning their secrets. And one day, he discovered how to connect them, to bring them life, to create KNACK. And KNACK,
That isn't what the doctor
he
looked like
can
in the
do
first game.
anything. Like I said, together we saved the world. And for a long time after, our capital city of New Haven thrived. But now, it's being attacked. I just can't help but think it's all my fault.
Yeah, this game is
What
so
have I
much more
done?
detailed.
Get down!
Like, you can tell it's just by looking at the hair.
We'll set this right, Lucas. Beginning now.
You can tell just by looking at the hair that the models are so much more detailed, you know? And turns out this game is single player, which I only have me here, so might as well just keep it on single player. Since like I said, it's only me here. So yeah, it would be kind of pointless to be on co-op. Like, you know, since I only have one person here. It turns out I can kick too. And also I can block. That's a major plus. That's an astounding addition from the first game, you know? That's a major plus. Well, at least I can block. And I can still dodge too. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off the mic real quick. Yeah, it was a spam call. So, what should I expect since I never even get any calls on my phone? What should I expect at that point? And mind you, there are a lot of quick time events in this game. And also I can grow and shrink willingly too now. That's a major plus. Like, at least there's some real good graphical and gameplay changes that were frankly kind of needed in the first game.
Why, hello there.
At least the line delivery too has improved. Well, I'm not. like I mentioned in my playthrough of the first game, multiple times in fact, I'm not doing any of those chest collectibles, but I am doing the relic and sunstone collectibles. That's the only thing I am doing for this game is the sunstone and you know relic collectibles. Like, that's all I'm doing for the collectible side of things. Which that's not necessarily a collectible side of things now that I bring... That's not a collectible thing now that I bring it up. It's more or less like something to help out the character of KNACK, you know, in combat. And also, I can hover too. I can hover. That's a major plus that, you know, kind of helps out with, you know, parkour. That's something that really helps out. And I lost the relics. That really sucks. Also, there's an XP system in this game for some reason. And pay attention to my health whenever I lose some, because there is a regen factor in this game. You know, not like with collecting relics, but like you can regain relics after you already lost them. And no, it doesn't, and not in the way that like growing and shrinking. Like it just, you know, gives you back the relics that you lost through damage. Which is a major plus, considering, you know, a lot of the later enemies that would inevitably show up like they did in the first game. But this isn't like the first game in that aspect, considering it's not the same story, obviously. You know, like Dragon Ball Universe 1 and 2, it's not like that. It's more or less, kind of like, it's basically like every game, where, besides games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and 2, you know, at least they actually change up the story. You know, instead of keeping it the same between the games. And also the Sunstone charge also protects you too. That's a major plus. So there's a lot of skills that KNACK has obtained since the first game, which is a major plus and an upside, considering the abilities he had in the first game felt kind of lacking, you know? All you really had was evading, the potential of growing and shrinking, and then attacking and jumping. That's all you really had, besides the Sunstone charge ability. And then later on, the armor abilities. That's all he really had, but in this game, they actually added a lot more abilities for KNACK to have, which is a major plus. Like I love that aspect of this game, that it added so many features, but not too many, you know, make it feel overstuffed. Like, that's a major upside of this game that I love dearly. Like, I do admit, at points it does feel overstuffed, but it's not like overstuffed to where like it's an annoying level, you know? Like, it's not the bad kind of overstuffed. Just that, you know, the more levels you learn, just more combos that you have to learn too. but it's not, something that you can't manage. Hey, at least I can actually, do something, besides punch and the occasional, do, the launch myself into the enemy thing. At least I can actually do something there. Hey, I can actually unlock my first skill. That's a major plus. And yes, that's the skill tree. And there's like 4 major segments to the skill tree. Which that one's the wave speed. I don't know about the other segments because it's been so long since I played this game. I haven't played it since like 2020 at the latest. That's the last time I really played the game. So yeah.
I got it.
And also this video is pre-recorded, mind you, because I already uploaded 3 videos whenever I released this video, like the time that I'm recording it. So yeah, don't want to feel like a content farm in that matter. Just that my videos are really easy to record, and it doesn't take, and I don't do editing, which just makes my videos that more easy to put out. Like, I'm not trying to be a content farmer or anything. It's just that, I just feel like editing videos takes away from the content. Not like in a bad way, but I just feel like it just leaves out a lot of details that could have been left in the video, Especially for gaming content creators like myself. Like they just leave out a lot of content and context for the area of the game where like you just get confused on the game and what's going on for most of them. And I just don't want to do that, Like, I just don't want to leave my audience confused on the context of the scene, so they know exactly what's going on at all times. Except if they didn't watch the previous part, That's the only time that they wouldn't know what's going on directly in that scene. This scene is so well animated, Except for the quick time events, which kinda hinders it a little bit. The quick time events do hinder the cutscenes in this game, but a lot of times it's not necessarily in a bad way, I do know that quick time events in gaming do get a lot of flack, for being annoying, but this game actually handles it surprisingly well in most instances. Even though it is kind of boring at times. So I gotta play through 6 months worth of the game just to understand the context of one scene. Wow, game, wow.
Is this the place, Lucas?
Yeah, just up ahead.
Alright, sit tight. I'll take her down.
Well, at least Ryder and Lucas found each other after the first game. That's a major plus. At least they didn't, not know where each other was. Turn off the mic.
about ready yet, Knack?
Any reason why you brought me here for our Sunday hike?
Yeah, but if I tell you, it'll ruin the surprise.
Ooh, well, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Seriously, Knack, kick it into gear.
I'm just happy I get to spend some time with my favorite nephew.
Don't you mean your only nephew?
Well, that too.
Come on, Knack.
Well, by definition,
It's about time.
since he's
Let's
your
get this
only
day
nephew,
started.
that would by definition make him your
Fresh
favorite.
air and exercise. What could be better?
By definition.
Should be fun.
Like, I know it's still wrong to pick favorites either way, but, you know, by definition, since he's your only, you know, of that archetype, by definition, he would have to be your favorite. That's kind of how things work. I know that's still cruel either way, but that's kind of how things work. I mean, come on. Like, think of it logically, not... Like, think of it smarter, not harder at that point. That's kind of how people need to start thinking more, is think of it smarter, not harder, for a lot of these things that happen anymore. Think of it smarter, not harder. Heck, there's a lot of stuff that could be, like, in politics. Not necessarily modern politics or anything, but I mean politics as a whole. Like,
hydroelectricity.
People
Those
just
water wheels
think of
cover
it
the whole
way
area.
too hard instead of thinking about it smarter. You know, they try to put, oh, this guy has, you know, a past in, you know, helping out children. And then they try to make some excuse on how he's a terrible person at that point. Like, think of it smarter, not harder. At that point. Like, I know how much I hate politics, but like, people could honestly take the most meaningless things and try to make it to where, like, that person looks bad in some way. I mean, come on, think of stuff smarter, not harder. I always say that to people. And it's honestly very true for a lot of things. And people just completely ignore that fact. I mean, come on, that saying has existed for centuries now, and yet people ignore it every single time. For literally no reason whatsoever, outside of fueling their own fragile little egos. I mean, come on. Just don't try and
You
force
really
yourself
came here
to
all
think
by
too
yourself?
hard, or you might give
Think of
yourself
me as a
some
fellow
type of mental strain and cause some sort of health issue or something. I mean, that kind of stuff always happens with doing that, with thinking way too hard on things, you know, and it causes you stress, and then it leads you to developing some kind of, like, injury in your brain.
Stand back.
You know, it happens time after time. Like, it's just stupid how people take the most meaningless things,
As soon
try
as
to
you get out
say,
of the city, there they are.
like, I get that there's things that should be taken at face value. I get that. But there's a lot of things that also you don't take in every little detail that is relevant to that. And yet you try and make it seem like, oh, they're a good person or they're a bad person. Yet you aren't taking in everything and, you know, developing your own opinion from that.
Show 'em who's boss now.
Like, they just take it at face value. Heck, a lot of these internet situations, like, that could easily be avoided if people didn't take it at face value, you know? I'm gonna turn off my mic. Yeah, sorry about that. My smoke alarms keep going off for the dumbest of reasons. Like you could light a lighter and my smoke alarms would go off. I'm not kidding, that has happened before. Like, people would literally light a lighter and my smoke alarms would go off. That's how sensitive they are. I mean, I know that's a good thing in situations, especially whenever you consider I was in a house fire back in 2020. So, I guess sensitive can be a good thing at that point, but, you know, it just gets annoying. It just gets annoying at that point, considering I've lived in this house for about 5 years. I've lived in this house for, I want to say, nearly 5 years at this point. So, and I've had the same smoke alarms since, like, for the entire time, and it just, you know, gets annoying, but it's manageable. You know, like, it gets annoying, but it's manageable. Like, just like with everything else. It's annoying, but it's manageable. Like, everything is manageable in some shape or form. It doesn't matter what it is, it has to be manageable. In some way. I mean, come on. There's literally nothing that's impossible. I mean, come on. Look at me. I thought I wouldn't make anything out of my life. Look at me now. I have 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Sure, that may be not big. Well, actually, I have like nearly 110. Put more exact numbers on it. Like, sure, that may not be a lot. Like, compared to all these other big channels. But hey, it's something, you know? Can't really change that. If y'all ain't enjoying my content, I can't really force you to stay, you know? Like, sure, it's aggravating, but it's manageable. There's nothing I can really do about it. Come on. Like, there is some things that I could improve with my content, but it's, you know, it's whatever. Like, it's not, like, too concerning. Like, it's nothing to be concerned about in any way, you know? But hey, if I'm doing what I love, who cares?
Why no doctor today? He said he'd join us.
Something came up. Wouldn't say what it was.
If I'm doing what I love and I'm having fun while doing it, who cares what I do? You know?
Probably.
That's what enjoyment's all about. If I'm having fun while doing it and doing what I love, who cares what other people think? Heck, I think that people try and put way too much focus on the monetary side of content creation. Honestly, I mean, come on, look at all these content creators that try and force sponsors down your throat, or, you know, try and make it past, like, the amount for monetization money, and try and force views onto others, like, trying to force their views, ideology, whatever, onto others, and stuff. Like, sure, like, I kind of, like, tell people my views and ideology, but I ain't forcing it onto people. I ain't forcing my ideology or views onto others. Like, come on, that's just flat wrong. People do. Like, it's just stupid. Like, I ain't gonna go out and say, oh, your entire ideology and way of living is stupid. Your whole way of living is stupid. I ain't gonna say that.
A great explorer like me would expect nothing less. Carry on.
I just hear
Lucas,
people out,
writer,
respect that,
see
and move
these
on
blue crystals?
my way.
check this out.
I mean, that's all I really can do in that situation. And that's the main reason why I hate politics and all these political content creators. Because they try to
We'll run
force
into some
their
goblins,
political
Lucas.
views
They're all yours.
onto others.
Yeah.
And they
I'll
try to
show
do
Knack some good
whatever they can to sway you on their side. That's a main reason why I can't stand political content creators. Because that's what they do time and time again. Because they try and force your ideology down, trying to force their ideology down your throat. That's why I can't stand them. And also, they do it in the most horrendous way. I mean, come on, look at Hassan. He literally had a terrorist on his stream and was just, saying what he. Like, he literally was saying a terrorist was a good person just. And the only reason he said that he was because that guy was watching One Piece. I mean, come on. Do people seriously not see how stupid that is? And also, didn't he literally say that people should kill, like, some kind of healthcare officer or whatever? Didn't he? Or a senator or whatever? Like, didn't he literally wish death on that guy? Like, if that doesn't scream he's an egotistical, idiot, then what would at that point? If that doesn't scream he's an egotistical, mouth breather. Like, come on. I didn't think people could get any more stupid if you... Like, I didn't think that until I saw Hassan. Like, you're just... And the thing is, Hassan and his group of idiots, they do not deserve the platforms that they have. This little gang of idiots. Come on. They literally promote and try and say that terrorism is a good way of thinking. Like, do they seriously not see the obvious flaws with that ideology? Like, I ain't one to judge people with that, but, that kind of ideology should obviously be judged for obvious reasons. Because you're literally just promoting the death and destruction of countless lives and civilizations at that point. So obviously, that kind of ideology should be judged, Like, I hate saying it to be, to sound hypocritical or anything, but ideologies like that should be judged, like, for both sides of that spectrum. Like, that should be judged for obvious reasons. Obvious, very valid reasons. Hey, it's a super move. But I ain't gonna use it. I ain't gonna use it. I'm gonna do this without the aid of a crystal. I knew I could do it without a crystal.
This gate was most likely constructed as a defense against intruders.
Interesting, right?
Well, actually common in these kind of ruins.
Oh, but yeah, I knew that.
Your uncle
I
has
almost
only one
died,
fear.
but hey, what does that matter?
know you
For that
have
last
others.
segment with that large group of goblins, what does that matter? Okay. Wait. Well, at least I made
Looks
it
like a rock
through.
fell from higher up. How do we get past it?
You got this,
Um,
Knack.
are you forgetting the super strong golem that you have with you?
Show us how it's done. Good
That you
going,
know
Knack.
has taken down giant
Such
robots twice the size of him. Well, I guess I kind of have a little bit. Yeah, might as well get some as much experience as possible, you know, so I can buy more skills. Might as well do that, you know, instead of leaving me weaker and more defenseless. But the fact that people say that we should get rid of the military is so stupid
So
to
you've
me.
really never been here
Like,
before?
sure, leave an entire country defenseless,
True.
regardless of which one you're talking about. Leave an entire country defenseless against another country that you don't even know could rally some kind of troop to, you know, try and take over another country, you know? Yeah, sure,
Can't go
like that
further
won't
without
ever
opening
happen.
this
Like,
gate.
we could maintain peace without some
Up
sort of
again, Knack.
protection. Like, especially across the globe. Like, that makes total sense and doesn't make you sound like a complete and utter buffoon. You know? Why does it sound like KNACK is taking damage whenever I complete the transfer? You know, like, it sounds like he's taking at least some damage. Or, you know, like the death sound. Sorry if I sound like I'm not, you know, fully here right now. I'm just, you know, a little more exhausted right now after recording 4 videos in one day, you know? Like,
Wait up,
I'm just
Knack.
more exhausted. I'm like,
I'm glad we're finally out of the woods.
Goblin pyramids. Is that what you wanted to show me?
That's part of it. Come on.
Well, let's get going then.
well, I'm gonna end today's video here. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.